Okay, so I'm a vegan. I'm very much a vegan. Okay, but I thought it would be really fun to come on here and try and give the best argument I can against veganism, just for the fun of it. So, premise one would be that we should do whatever we can to maximize pleasure and reduce suffering. Premise two is that a world that sells animal products maximizes pleasure and reduces suffering. Conclusion, we should have a world that sells animal products. Now, the problem that most of you are going to have is with premise two. It seems like a big jump from premise one to premise two. So, we got a new car here. I'm going to be in this video, I'm going to be arguing for premise two. So there's two aspects to this. Number one, wild animal suffering is very bad, and cropland reduces wild animal suffering by displacing the wild land for the cropland. And so let's go into that for a second. So like a lot of carnists will say, oh, cropland is bad because it causes this amount of suffering. Okay, well, I'm here to claim that cropland is very good because it offsets a greater amount of suffering from the wild. Now, what happens, that's one point for animal agriculture, because animal agriculture uses way more cropland than plant agriculture would. Okay, but that still doesn't really justify, it still really doesn't justify it, because factory farming is so bad and evil. Okay, so this is where the second part comes in for premise two. So, a welfare, free-range, family type farm is theoretically possible. So, right, imagine a farm where you have like cows that are just playing on these big fields and having a great time. And I would think that would be a good thing, like, right? If we had cows living very net positive lives, that would be a good thing. And if that's a good thing, maximizing that would be an even better thing. So right, if you have 5 happy cows, 10 happy cows is even better. Okay, so how do we incentivize that? Well, one of the best ways to incentivize that is through the selling of meat. Okay, so you have these really happy cows on these happy farms, and that is happening because of the slaughter, because we sell their meat. So basically we give them really happy lives and give them one bad day, right? So, okay, so the 2 points here is, number one, it would be good because you are increasing cropland, which offsets wildland. Number two, you're incentivizing bringing net positive lives into existence. The very act of slaughtering is incentivizing more and more and more and more happy cows that otherwise wouldn't have existed. So, with that argument for premise two, we'll go back to the original argument. Premise one, we ought to maximize pleasure or well-being and reduce suffering. Premise two, a world of some animal products, or a world where we sell animal products, maximizes pleasure and reduces suffering. Conclusion, we ought to buy animal products. So that's my argument against veganism. And I actually, again, I'm a vegan, so I actually disagree with this argument. But I'm going to leave this open and let there be like a discussion about this. I may reply to some comments, but I'm probably going to send this to a lot of my vegan friends, just to get their thoughts. My like vegan TikTok friends. I want to get their thoughts on this, and maybe hear their arguments against veganism. And then later on, I'll probably make a video like going through the argument and just like saying why I don't actually agree with it. But yeah, that's my greatest argument against veganism.